Would you love me more if I was the guy that never says no? Or would you love me more if I ruled the world, gave you diamonds and gold? If I could take you to the top, if I make your heart stop, would you feel it in your soul? What do you think of me when you hurt you on the road? Just be honest, baby, just be honest, baby, just be honest. 'Cause I just wanna hear from you. Ooh. Ah! If you knew what I'm thinking, then you'll laugh all the ride. I just pray that I can see you, and to you, you're a flower, and I know that I love you. It's just too soon to say. But yeah, this is Just Be Honest, or also called Coming in Hot, by Daniel Caesar and Kelly Uchis. Sorry, I'm still sick. I'm quite congested. So I apologize for sounding like nasally and stuff. But yeah, anyways, there's two main parts of this song. You have kind of like the main progression that runs through most of the song, and then we have like the little bridge section at the end. So yeah, I guess we'll get straight into it with the main progression. So the main progression is we're gonna start with a D minor 7. Is it? No, it's a D major 7. Wait. Oh no, it's a D flat major 7. Sorry. Cool. Right. So yeah, we're gonna start with a D flat major 7. So you wanna have your index finger barring the 4th fret from the A string and downwards. You want your middle finger on the G string of the 5th fret. You want your ring finger on the D string of the 6th fret, and your pinky on the B string of the 6th fret. And that's your D flat major 7. And you play from the A string downwards. However, for this song, you don't actually need to bar the 4th fret, because I don't really want to hear the low E string. I mean the high E string. I kind of want it to sound like this. I want it to sound like, oh my god. Rather than, I don't think you want the low E string for this song. So you can kind of just put your index finger on the A string of the 4th fret, and then kind of do a little kind of hook shape, or just kind of rest your finger on the fretboard, and that should mute that high E string for you. So yeah, that's our first chord. It's a D flat major 7, right? And the strumming pattern for this chord is kind of like a 1 2 1 2. So it's kind of like a 1 2, and you kind of want to go like the first hit is kind of more soft, 1 2, and the second hit is a bit more aggressive. So 1 2, right? And then immediately after that, we go into our next chord, which is an F minor 7, which is played on the 1st fret like this. Now, there's many ways you can play this F minor 7. You could play it like this. But I mean, it's the same voicing, but you're just putting your fingers in a different kind of shape. You could play it like this. You could play it like this, or you could play it like this. Now, normally in my tutorials, I kind of go for this voicing right here, because it normally allows for like an easy transition between like major 7 and minor 7 chords, and also dominant 7 chords. So like having your fingers in this kind of orientation is quite nice. This kind of style is also quite useful at times because it really allows you to like get the high E string if you want that to ring out, and it's also easy to like slide with it. But for this song, I opt for this voicing right here, which is where I have my middle finger on the low E string of the first fret, and then my ring finger basically does the work of barring the D, G, and the B string. So it kind of looks something like this. Oh yeah, also my middle finger, the one that's on the low E string, is also doing the work of kind of muting the A string. So you can have it kind of laid a bit flat, and so yeah, the voicing kind of looks something like this. I mean the finger, pause. Your fingers look something like this. Now, the reason I opt for this voicing, not voicing, the reason why I opt to play the minor 7 like this is because if you play it like this, because you're at the head of the fretboard, it's kind of hard to mute the low E and the high E string. Same with if you're doing this kind of shape over here, it's kind of harder to mute the high E string. So I use this finger orientation, but you can use the others if it's more comfortable, and you can find a way to stop the high E string from ringing out. But this is just kind of what I use. So yeah, anyways, F minor 7, and we do that same strumming pattern that do. So from the start, it sounds like. Then we go into our next chord, which is a G flat major 7. So we want to kind of put our index finger on the low E string of the 2nd fret, our middle finger on the B string of the 2nd fret, our ring finger on the D string of the 3rd fret, and our pinky on the G string of the 3rd fret. And we just play our G flat major 7, right? Now, with the G flat major 7, we don't do that soft, hard that we did with the F minor 7 or the D flat major 7, because we do something else. We do a kind of like is it a step down or a step up? I don't know. We do some sort of steps, because we do something that sounds like this. Oh, that's awful. But you get it. Right? That little walk. I don't know if, little walk up or down, whatever. So because we do that, we don't do the same strumming pattern as the other chords. We just kind of strum it once, and then we do that kind of little walk, right? So I'm going to show you how to do the walk now, and then that is like the main chord progression, and I'll go through it like slowly, show you the whole chord progression, and then we'll go into the bridge. So for the walk down now, or the walk up, because it's getting higher, the step up, it's we play our G flat major 7, then we go into a G flat minor 7. So you remember this minor 7 shape I was talking to you about before? So we go into a G flat minor 7. So we're gonna have our index finger on the low E string of the 2nd fret, our middle finger on the D string of the 2nd fret, our ring finger on the the G string of the 2nd fret, and our pinky on the B of the 2nd fret. So all our fingers on that 2nd fret, and we're just muting the A string and muting the high E string. Now you could also use the finger orientation that I showed before. Right, this one right here. But personally, as I was saying before, I prefer using this finger orientation because it allows for like a quick transition between major 7s and minor 7s. Right, so in this case, I'm going to use this minor 7 finger orientation. So yeah, we play the G flat. So we play the G flat major 7. Oh, sorry, the G flat major 7. Then we play G flat minor 7, and then we just return to our first chord, which was a D flat major 7. That's the walk up. Right. So now I'm going to go through the whole of the chord progression. Right, and it's really not that bad. So it goes. No, it just repeats, right? So that's the main chord progression. And now we're going to go on to the bridge, which is obviously the if you know that I love you, then you'll laugh. That section, right? The bridge is more complicated than the main chord progression. But I think the bridge is really cool as well. Like, I like the way that it uses like kind of like root note, like bass note kind of like step downs and step ups to like transition between chords. It's something that like I also spoke about in my tutorial that I made on the song Horsepower by Daniel Caesar, and it's just really fun to play. So I'll show you how to get started with this now. So quite neatly and quite neatly, we're going to be starting on our G flat major 7, which is a chord we've already been over, so I'm not going to explain it again. But we're going to start with our G flat major 7. So if you know, and this time we're going to play it as we played all of the other chords in the main chord progression. So we're going to go slow, fast, or slow, soft, hard, whatever. So we're going to play it like that. And then what we're going to do is our next chord is our D flat major 7. So, right? But to transition from our G flat major 7 into a D flat major 7, we're going to do a little walk, a little step up, right? So I'll show you now. What we're going to do is we're going to play our G flat major 7. Then we're going to do... You see that? So I'm going to explain what I did now. So basically I played the G flat major 7. And then I got my index finger. I played the 2nd fret low E string. Then the 3rd fret low E string. And then I went into my D flat major 7. So I'm going to go slow. So it's like this. So that's how we do that, right? Then, after our D flat major 7, our next chord is a B major 7, I believe. Which is very neat because it's the same shape as a D flat major 7, so I don't actually need to re-explain that. So I'll just show you. Sorry, what am I talking about? I'm not speaking English. Yeah, it's the same shape as a D flat major 7. It's just moved. It's just when you slide it down 2 frets, right? You just slide. Oh my god! You slide down 2 frets and you get a B major 7. So I don't need to re-explain the chord shape. And yeah, that's our next chord. Cool. Now, again, to get from our D flat major 7 to our B major 7, we're again going to do a little root note kind of like step down. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a D flat major 7 and walk it down. So all we're going to do is play the D flat major 7 and then we're going to play the 4th fret on the A string. I'm going to play the 3rd fret on the A string, and then we're going to play a B major 7. Also, for the B major 7, I say I'm going to give you the option of, you can bar the 2nd fret, you can go for a bar, and let that high E string ring out. I think it actually fits the song. You also can not bar if you don't want to, and just... But I think the bar kind of gives it a flavour that is nice for this part of the song. So it's up to you. But anyways, so now we go from our D flat major 7 to our B major 7. Okay, yeah, and then our next chord is a D flat major 7. So it's the exact same shape as our B major 7 and our D flat major 7, but again, just slide it 1 more fret to the. So now I'm on the 1st fret, we're barring the 1st fret, and that is our B flat major 7. All right, and to transition between the B major 7 and the B flat major 7, again, it's another root note kind of step down. So what we're going to do is we're going to play that B major 7. and then we're gonna play the A string on the second fret. We're gonna play the A string on the first fret, and then we're gonna go into our B flat major 7. All right, now I'm gonna go from the top and I'm gonna go slow because I've talked about a lot of like walking up and down and this and over. So I just want to make sure it's like solidified in your mind. So from the start, it goes something like this. Right, that's it. Now, if you notice something, I just did at the end, and with the B flat major 7, and oh my god, I can't speak English. If you notice what I did, I only played the B flat major 7 once. I only just strummed it once. I didn't do the. No, I only strummed it once because the B flat major 7 shares a count. It doesn't get the full count. It shares a count with another chord, and that's going to be like F7, which is our next chord, right? So after you play that that B flat major 7 once, you're going to transition into an F7, and quite neatly, it's very close on the fretboard. All you do is, watch my fingers, you take that bar that you have and you move it from the A string, so you move it from the A string on the first fret to the low E string. So you bar the entirety, oh my god, my English. You bar the entirety of the first fret. And then what you do is, remove your pinky finger, and all you got to do is, you see that ring finger that's on the D string right now? Move it up to the A string. And that's your F7. So you go from a B flat major 7 to an F7. Now, there's also a little step going on, a little step down into it, okay? So we're going to cover that as well. So what we do is we play our B flat major 7, and then immediately we play the A string on the first fret. Then we play the E string, the low E string on the first fret, and then we transition into F7, right? So I'm going to play the whole thing through now, just to show, and I'll show you that, okay? So it's, because that bit's a bit, not confusing, but it's a bit more fast paced. So, but I'll go slow. So it's something like this. And I just closed the loop and finished the rest of the song. But as you saw, it was kind of a play the B flat major 7, do that little step down, the A, what was it? It was A string, E string to the F7, right? So cool. And then from here, we want to return to our G flat major 7. So to do that, after you play that F7 once, we're gonna do another step up, right? And we're gonna play the low E string of the first fret. We're gonna play the low E string of the second fret, and then we're gonna play our G flat major 7, and the loop repeats, and that's it. So we'll play the whole thing through one more time, and we're gonna wrap this up.